Hello and welcome to the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 198. Today's date is September 10th, 2022. I'm Troy West and thank you for watching right here on the Solid Sports Gaming channel, right here on YouTube. Every Saturday we do I do my sports blog here, so join me every Saturday. And I appreciate you guys for coming. Had a special live blog this week previewing the NFL season. You can watch the playback anytime. Right here on the Solid Sports Gaming channel. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Some people came through. My man Good Vibes came through for a little while, and everybody else who's been supportive. Helping Hearts 888, and all my other supporters. I appreciate you guys on social media and everywhere else for coming that night, Wednesday night. We're gonna talk a lot of NFL today. As week one starts, I'll give you my picks. We're gonna look at the new baseball rules. Baseball passed some new rules for next year. I think they're kind of weird, but we're gonna get into that and look at the latest playoff picture. I got a list. I usually announce my list a week or so before, but I decided to do an NBA list of top 5 centers in the NBA. I got that list ready to go. I share that. I would look at the Hall of Famers who's getting inducted this weekend. So we got a lot to talk about today. I'm gonna try to talk a little bit about Serena Williams today as well. I got my big 5 games ready for week 1, the games I want to really dive deep into a little bit. So that's what's on the show today. And we'll talk about what's coming up on the channel and stuff later. So let's go ahead and get into it. Don't want to waste a lot of time. Like I said, we only get an hour of time, so don't want to take too long with that. Let's look at these MLB rules, and then we're gonna look at the standings here. A lot of rule changes. There's no more shifts. It'll be a clock. The pitching clock. It's just a lot of stuff going on. Let's see. Yeah, you can't, it's a shift rule. You can't shift anymore. I never liked to shift it anyway. Like, far as strategy as a manager, if I was a manager, I wouldn't do a lot of shifts anyway. But now I think they kind of banned, so. Yeah, but they got a pitch clock now. Pitcher can't hold the ball that long anymore. Yeah, it's a lot. I recommend you go read them, but basically the 2 biggest ones is the pitch clock and the defensive shifts that they just passed. But this will take some time for players and managers to get used to it. And now you got some clock involved in the game. It just feels weird, baseball having a clock. We have to do anything, but we'll see. Like I said, all the other adjustments they made over the years has been okay. So we'll see how this one goes. But it's part of the CBA, so we'll see how this goes. The amount of visits are limited. So if you want to see more details about the rule change, I recommend you go read one of the articles. I was reading the ESPN article on it. But we'll see if any baseball players. I know somebody's going to come out and probably trash these rules. It just got passed yesterday evening. So me, like I said, I'm willing to change. Only one, like I said, that I don't like is that the pitch clock. I think that's going to be weird for a while. So it'll take some adjusting to get used to. I don't know why they try to speed up the game. I just like the game at its purest form. But I guess baseball, like I said, they don't have a choice but to try something because they lose their fans. You can even notice with games, even when the teams are good, you don't see sellout crowds anymore that often. So I think baseball trying to gain some fans. So maybe that's the way to do it. But I think they need to improve on their marketing as well if they're going to get fans to the game. So like I said, there's the 2 big changes. It's a pitch clock now, and also the defensive shifts are limited, which I never liked the defensive shifts anyway. Like if I was a manager, I would rarely even use it, at all. because it leaves one side of the field wide open, and you just never know. You pitching against professionals, so they could probably adjust and hit the ball the opposite way, and get a base hit. So yeah, for more information on that, I recommend you go look it up. Give you an opinion on it. Do you like the rule changes or you don't? So now we're gonna look at our standings, as updated standings as of this morning. Let's start with the American League East. Yankees still on top, holding on though. Tampa's only 3.5 back. I think they beat them again last night. They play in a 3-game series, a big series. Toronto's only 5 back now. Orioles 9.5. Boston's 16 back. But the Orioles fell last night to the Red Sox. We're gonna look at the wild card standings in a second. Central still tight. Cleveland over the slight lead, a game and a half over the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago White Sox was past the Minnesota Twins now. Twins been quietly struggling. That's still their game over 500 now. They 2.5 back into this Kansas City and Detroit way out. The West is all Houston at 89-49, about to win their 90th game. Seattle still decent, 77-61. They 12 out of first place, but does hold one of those wild card spots, which we got to look at. National League, my Braves have caught the Mets, at least for now. They get half a game up. I didn't think they'd catch them, but they did. Mets with a lot of injuries with the pitching staff and everything. But my Braves quietly been playing good baseball in the second half as well. So I feel good about that. But the Mets definitely strongly has a wild card spot. I think the Phillies has one too. They 11 back in first place. Washington has been officially eliminated. Miami is above them in the East. In the Central, the St. Louis Cardinals with a big lead over the Milwaukee Brewers, 8-game lead. They got Cubs, Reds, and Pittsburgh Pirates in that order. And then in the West, Dodgers with an 18-game lead. Biggest league in baseball. Biggest lead as far as the division. Arizona has passed San Francisco. The Diamondbacks been playing better. Padres in second place, by the way, with the 18-game back. But Arizona, San Francisco, and Colorado definitely don't have much left to play for. Let's look at the wild card now. In the American League, Tampa +2, but like I said, they probably take a division title maybe. Toronto Blue Jays plus half a game up. Seattle in that last spot, and the Orioles are 4 back. White Sox are 6.5. Minnesota is 7.5, but they are closer to winning their division than the wild card. So really the race will go between the Orioles, the Mariners, the Blue Jays, and the Tampa Bay Rays. I think the White Sox and the Twins, I don't think they're going to make it unless they win the division. In the National League, Mets are now in that top wild card spot because they fell to the wild card now that they don't need the division anymore. Padres is a half game up, and then it's Philadelphia in that last spot. Milwaukee 3.5, and then everybody else is more than 10 back. Like I said, Washington only team in baseball, and the Oakland A's as well. It's also already been eliminated from playoff contention. Everybody else still, mathematically alive, as they say, but probably holding on for dear life for that. So that's our MLB update for this week. The rule changes, like I said, I don't mind the rule changes. I just think the one with the clocks, the pitcher clock, is going to be weird. But I think the shift thing, I think that's, I get that. But I wonder what the motive of that though. Why now? Why change that? But I never liked the defensive shifts anyway. Okay, so let's move to some NBA news. The Hall of Fame ceremony is this weekend. Let's look at the Hall of Famers, and then I'm gonna give you my top 5 center list. Let's see. I think I had a list, an easier list. Excuse me for a second, I think I got it right here. I always appreciate y'all patience. Okay, so what's this? Oh, so tonight. So they go in tonight. Let's see. I think this is the full list here. Oh, so it's different committees. So, in the North American Committee, Hugh Evans, which honestly I don't know who that is. Manu Ginobili, of course, played for the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Hardaway, who was long overdue, he should have been in the Hall of Fame. Bob Huggins and Coach George Karl. In the Women's Committee, Swin Cash, Lindsey Whalen, and Marilyn Stanley. Veterans Direct Elect Committee, Lou Hudson, I don't know who that is. Direct Elect Contributor Committee, Larry Costello, Del Harris, I know him as a coach. Women's Veteran Direct Elect Committee, Teresa Skank Grintez, don't know who that is either. And International Direct Elect Committee, Rada Karak. So, but I'm just gonna go with the notable people. But that's everybody that's going into the Hall of Fame tonight. Manu Ginobili, I'll start with him. Manu, you know what he did for the Spurs, winning 4 titles. He wasn't on that 99 team, but he was on the 2003 Spurs championship that beat the Spurs, I think. I mean, that beat the Brooklyn, well, now Brooklyn, that's New Jersey Nets. In that title, David Robinson, his final, I think it was his final. I think he retired that year after that. Tim Duncan, you know what Tim Duncan meant to the Spurs. But Manu Ginobili, he's underrated in a way, maybe because he was from Argentina. Just a very savvy player. Had little guts. If Kobe was still alive, I know he would tell you the same thing, that Manu was hard to deal with sometimes. And he accepted his role because he Greg Popovich made started making him come off the bench, if anybody remember that. He didn't argue, he didn't fuss, even though he probably deserved to start some of those years. But he wound up coming off the bench being a good 6th man, even though he got starters minutes anyway. He made some big shots for the Spurs. I think he deserved to be in there. Even this last year when the Spurs lost to I think it was the first round to the Warriors, that one game, I was like, yeah, that was Manu's final game right there, a couple of years back. So he deserved to go. He's definitely a notable player. Tim Hardaway, that's the other person I want to touch on. Now, as far as me, like, Tim Hardaway, of course, go back to the 90s. I think, was he on... No, that was Gary Payton. I was thinking he was on that Heat team that, with D Wade and them that won the title. But I don't think he was on. I think he was already out the league then. But of course, a lot of people know. I know him more for the Heat, like the Run DMC. They brought that up this week. The Run DMC, the Warriors, the old Warriors with Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, and himself was on that team. That was the side of the Warriors team. I think that was back in the early 90s. I wasn't quite into basketball yet, but I heard about him. But he was a great point guard. He was one of the he would fit in today's game, because now our point guards are more score first minded now, and he definitely can score the basketball. But he was underrated as a point guard. He ran the offense. He was a tough nose guy. Got up in your face, played defense despite his size. He was a great player. He was excited to watch. He was a good 3-point shooter, and he was known for his crossover dribble. He was a excited player. Got us out of the league, played for the Mavs. Tim Hardaway Jr. Was becoming a decent player in the league himself. Had some controversy. I want to get it right, but I know he had some controversy. I think that's why he been held out. I think he either did something or said something. So I think that's why he's been delayed staying out the Hall of Fame, but he definitely deserved it. He was excited to play to watch, especially during the Heat late 90s Heat with him, Alonzo Mourning, PJ Brown, that he used to go battle with the New York Knicks teams in the late 90s as well. So yeah, so he deserves to be in. Only other person I want to touch on, like I said, other people, I'll be honest with you, I don't know them, by memory. But George Karl, he was a good coach. He just could never get over the hump. But he was a good coach everywhere he went. Sort of, to me, similar to Larry Brown. Even though Larry Brown wound up getting a championship eventually with that Detroit team. I think that's probably individually the best coaching job anybody ever done. Don't want to get off George Karl, but that Detroit team, if you look at it even today, it was amazing how they won basketball games. They played team basketball, like real team basketball, defensively and offensively. They had really no main superstar. Everybody just did their role, and it worked, and they won games. But to stay on George Karl, it was the same. He had the Seattle team. I think that's his biggest blemish. That Seattle team with Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton that never could get over the hump. And then when they finally got to the finals, had to deal with Mike Jordan and the Bulls. But even before that, they never, they would always fall short in the Western Conference. Then he went to Denver with Carmelo Anthony. That was sort of a mess, but he got them as far as to the Western Conference Finals. So he had a good career. I mean, I'm not arguing against George Karl. I just remember him back in those Seattle days, those Seattle teams that was there. So congratulations to all the inductees. The Hall of Fame ceremony is tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, so you can watch that. I know they had some highlights on YouTube. I might watch a few speeches, and see what happened. But congratulations to everybody that made it in this year. Next year will be an interesting class. I think Tony Parker's up. Dirk Nowitzki, them two probably going to get it for sure, especially Dirk. Yeah, so I can't wait. Next year will be a great class as well. Alright, to stay on the topic of the NBA, I decided to do a list since it wasn't much NBA to talk about. Days has got quiet. It's the season will be starting soon. So you got that NBA 2K is coming soon to the channel. So look forward to that in a week or two. But I decided to do a list of top 5 centers I shared later on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and all be in the description box. My top 5 centers is a little tricky because the NBA now, like I said, is pretty much positionless basketball. The center position has definitely been phased out almost. So I just did some research, did some metrics, and decided these the top 5. But this might change this year because now 2 of these guys is on the same team. Start with number 5, Rudy Gobert. A lot of people have been criticizing Rudy Gobert, but he finally out of Utah. Well, him and Donovan Mitchell now. He's now a Minnesota Timberwolf. Defensively, can't deny it. I think he won Defensive Player of the Year twice. Definitely a great rim protector. His weakness is on offense, and that's what Shaquille O'Neal was saying. He don't score the ball enough. He needs to go and dominate inside. He has no offensive game at all, and I have to agree with that. Like the games I've seen Rudy Gobert play, he just stand around and do putbacks. He don't never get a post play or anything like that. I think that did hinder the Jazz in certain ways, and why they never could get to that next step. But despite all that being said, for today's game, if you can rim protect at a high level, rebound at a high level, and Rudy Gobert does all those things, I think as the position is today, he is one of the top centers in the league, and he might move up because his teammate is on here too, but he probably gonna play power forward more than center, and but he's number 5 on my list. Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat, same day with Rudy. Very good rim protector, but Bam can score a little bit. I just think he have the I think he should have had more fire to score, because I think the Heat was missing that, obviously, because Jimmy Butler had to do too much of score, and Bam disappeared, especially in that Boston series. He had that one big game and then disappeared as far as offensively the rest of that series. So he needed to improve his offensive game as well. And if he does, he's capable of doing it. He's done it. He scored 30, 40 points in games before. And then he could take that next step to the next level. So I got him number 4. Number 3, Karl-Anthony Towns. He's also a T-Wolf now. Well, he is a T-Wolf. He's been a T-Wolf, but him and Rudy Gobert now on the same team. That's what I'm saying. So he might still play some center here and there, but he's mostly going to probably play the 4. Now, see, he's the opposite. He scores the basketball a lot better than defensively he is. But I like his game. A lot of people think he's missing a little bit of a second gear, but maybe I liked what the T-Wolves did last year. I think they're going to miss Patrick Beverly, but I think with Anthony Edwards and those guys there, I think he's going to push his game even further. He's on this list for now, but he probably won't be on this list the next time I do it, because he's not going to be a center. He's probably going to play the 4 mostly now. So I know they're going to play him and Rudy at the same time, but then probably spell him out, and he'll probably play center when Rudy's not in there. So he'll still play center sometimes, but as far as scoring, he's one of the best top scorers. He scored 60 points in a game last season, so he could definitely score the basketball. Got to improve defensively, but I got him number 3. Number 2, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. Now, you can argue that he should be number 1. He just won an MVP. But the person above him, I just think when he's healthy, he's the better player slightly. But Jokic, he underrated defensively, but he's a good defensive center as well. Not that bad defensively, but offensively, he scored the basketball. He distributed the basketball with that foreign style of play, when big men can pass and shoot. And like I said, he just won MVP, carried that Nuggets team this year. No Jamal Murray, but good to see this team healthy. I think they'll be a dangerous team next year. So I got him number 2. But number 1, to me, not that much of a doubt, is Joel Embiid. Still probably one of the purest centers in the league. Now, he steps outside and shoots the ball sometimes, maybe too much. But he's good defensively. His only flaw right now, he just can't stay healthy for a long period of time. He has bumps and bruises, but when he's healthy, I think he's the best center in basketball without question. He can do it all. He can play defense. He can shoot the basketball. He can post you up. So I think he's number 1. So to recap my list: Rudy Gobert number 5, Bam Adebayo number 4, Karl-Anthony Towns number 3, Nikola Jokic number 2, and Joel Embiid, the best center in basketball, number 1. So next week I do forwards, and then I'm gonna separate the guards. I'm gonna do shooting guard and point guard, and that probably should lead us to the regular season. So basically, I'm gonna mix the 4s and the 3s together, and I do shooting guards and I do point guards last. So that's where we stand there. So that's our NBA news for this week. Good, we make a good time. As we get to the NFL now, let me pull up the schedule, because I'm about to pick all the games for the rest of the week. And while I'm doing that, let's look back at that Buffalo game, if anybody saw it. I saw the first half. Second half, I kind of fell asleep. But the Bills pretty much dominated that game. Basically, the 3 turnovers even gave the Rams a slight chance. But Josh Allen, he settled down, dominated. The pass rush was amazing with Von Miller leading that charge, so he already made an impact already. I think the Rams will be fine, though. Some people jumping out the window saying the Rams are done and all this other stuff. I ain't gonna go there yet. This is only the first game. And I think they're just too talented. They go to get things together, but they didn't look good overall, defensively or offensively, really. I think it's too much pressure on Cooper Kupp. I think this year somebody else I think Allen Robinson is capable, but he's going to step up and be. They really need a second guy, because it's good that Cooper Kupp put up these numbers, but he needs help. He needs to open his field up a little bit more, and the running game ain't been consistent to me. even last year the Rams running game wasn't consistent, so that's why they lost this game. And that's if they continue to struggle, if they don't improve those things. But I think they will. I think they'll get better as the season go on. So actually, like I said, I got the repeating, so I'm gonna stand on that until further notice. I'm not going to change that. But the Bills look good though, and they're coming. I really believe they might make it to Super Bowl. I just think the AFC is just so tough. I think that's what's going to hinder the Bills a little bit. But they look great, and they dominated this game, winning 31-10. Should have been more than that, like I said. But great game. Good to have football back. And so we're about to look at the Week 1 games now, as I'm about to pull it up. So what I normally do, which there's people been watching me for years, I got 5 games written down here that I'm going to really go into detail about. The other games I'm just going to skip through, pick a winner, give a brief reason why, and move on. So first game up, Ravens at Jets. Me being a Ravens fan, everybody know about the Lamar Jackson news. They didn't reach a contract agreement. I already said, I did a short. I think the Ravens playing with fire here. I think they should have got a deal done, but now you got this going to be hanging. I think it's good for Lamar not to talk about it, but I think as far as the team itself, it might be a little bit of a distraction, because reporters going to ask, especially this week. That's all they're going to ask about, regardless of what happened during the game or after the game. Every little thing will be taken out of context. Like if Lamar, maybe he fussed out somebody, they might try to bring up. They're going to bring up the contract anytime they get a chance. But I think basically it was over the guaranteed money. I don't know how much exactly that he wants, but I think the Ravens didn't come up with the guaranteed money, and that what stalled the talks. And then Lamar don't want to talk about it during the season, so he gonna go through this whole season playing on this 5th-year option. But as far as the game itself, I think the Ravens win. I think the way Lamar is, I think this would be a motivation. I think he's gonna have one of his best years ever, which is not going to help the Ravens organization because they had to pay him more than what you could have probably got him for. So, and I think it starts with this game. We'll see our old friend Joe Flacco tomorrow. So I think that helps the Ravens as well. I got them winning pretty easily. I say by at least 10 points or more. Saints at Falcons. I got the Saints here. Like I said, I think the Falcons, like I said, they rebuilt it. I like Marcus Mariota though. Kind of ironic that him and Jameis Winston meets now their division foes. But I think Atlanta, if they keep building, they could get back up. But the Saints, to me, is one of these sleeper teams that could probably go far. Jameis reins it in and shows his talent. Don't turn the ball over. The Saints could even challenge Tampa for this division. So I got the Saints winning that game. They 5.5 favorite. I think that's sound about right to me. 49ers Bears. This is an interesting game because the 2 young quarterbacks, Trey Lance, really officially about to start, even though he started a couple games last year, but this is now his team. Justin Fields, I believe in Justin Fields. Let's see if the Bears can help him, because their offensive line is bad. But I got San Francisco winning this game. San Francisco has one of the deepest rosters in the NFL. So, but I think it'll be a close game though. They got a 9-7 point favor. I think that's too. I think it'll be a smaller victory for them than that. Steelers Bengals. This is an interesting game in the AFC North. Bengals defend the AFC champions. 7-point favorites here. I think Mr. Trubisky is the starter. I think they made that official. I'm not sure. Still haven't seen no official word. But I just think that makes more sense to go with him than the rookie Prickett. I think Mason Rudolph is definitely the outside looking in. But Steelers though, don't look at their defense is pretty tough. So I think the Bengals will have a tough time, but I think they win this game. I think, but they 7-point favorite. I think it'll be lower. I think it'll be like a field goal game. I think the Bengals win that game. Eagles at Lions. This is another interesting game. A lot of people high on the Eagles this season. And so am I. I think they're just going to win the East. Now after that, I don't know, but I think they will win the NFC East this year. I think Dallas got too many issues. Jalen Hurts is all out to Jalen Hurts. Can Jalen Hurts take that next step? But I like Detroit as well. I like the direction they're going in. They still maybe a year or two away to maybe be a playoff team again. But I know I've been real critical of Jared Goff, people that know me, and I still don't. I still don't think he's the guy, but I still think he is kind of talented. But I want to see that kid Hutchinson, the rookie from Michigan, see what he does. But I'm gonna go with Philly in this game. I think it'll be a close, tight game as well. But I think the Eagles will win. Patriots at Dolphins. That's a tough one for me. Miami making all the moves they made, getting Tyreek Hill, but it's all gonna be up to Tua. But the Patriots always struggle in Miami, so I think I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here, slightly over New England. But I still think New England gonna finish higher than them in the East, because you basically play for second, because Buffalo's gonna win that division, no doubt. Jaguars, Commanders. I'm gonna go with the Jags here. I'm gonna go with the Jags. Doug Peterson is an underrated coach. I think he'll be able to get the best out of Trevor Lawrence. I think the Jags gonna be one of those pesky teams. Probably be in a lot of games and lose, maybe most of them. But I think this game, I think they're gonna win. Washington disappointed me last year. I still got a bad taste in my mouth about Washington. I believe in their defense. Their defense failed, despite Ryan Fitzpatrick getting hurt. I just think their defense should have been a lot better. I don't know if Chase Young's back. Hopefully he ain't he ain't take a step back. I like his game. That defensive line is still good, but I think it's gonna be the Washington offense that's gonna do some things this year. But this is sort of, I don't think why I call this an upset, because they're not favorite Jacksonville. But I think Jacksonville win this game. I think they go in there and win. All right, our first Big Five game of this week. Browns at Panthers. We all know the storyline with this game. Baker Mayfield returned to, Baker Mayfield get revenge on the Browns. The Browns coming to Carolina. This is an even line. But I'm gonna go with Carolina here. I think the Browns is gonna struggle a little bit, even though I like Jacoby Brissett. But I think the Browns sometimes just shoot themselves in the foot. They need to run the football. I don't know if the Kareem Hunt thing gets moved over or not, but they're going to need him and Nick Chubb and to control the offense. But I like the Cleveland defense, though. I like Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett going to have a monster year, so he can disrupt this game. But I think Baker, in these situations, he plays his best football. I think he'll do enough. They're going to be a close, tight game, emotional game, but I think the Panthers pull it out at home. The line is even. Like I said, the Browns, looking at the Browns, like I said, they got the talent, but I don't like they play calling. Sometimes they need to run the football. I don't think they will. I think they're going to fall into the making sure, the Baker trap as well. I think Baker got the advantage for sure. I think Carolina will win this game. I think it'll be close though. Colts, Texans. Colts all the way here. Texans though, not as bad as people think. But I think the Colts are way better than Matt Ryan. His debut with the Colts. We'll see what he got. But he got the talent around him. But you see what he did in Atlanta. When he got talent, he can make it work. But I think they can't get too QD. I think they gotta give Jonathan Taylor the ball. I think he could possibly be an MVP if the Colts run away with this division, which is possible. But I think they win pretty handily. It's a 7-point favorite. That sounds about right to me. Giants at Titans. I got the Titans here. Giants, I just don't know what the Giants' direction is. So until that, it's going to be hard to pick them. To me, they could be the worst team in the league this year. Even though Saquon Barkley is a talented guy, but I just don't know where they're going. So Tennessee though, Derrick Henry, is he ever going to, people already saying, well, is he the same? Is he going to be the same from his foot injury? I still believe in him, and I think he's going to carry them all the way to the division title this year. They Ryan Tannehill, he reached his ceiling. He had this good moment, but I think he is who he is. And they still be a hindrance, but I think that tight defense, I believe in Mike Vrabel too. Mike Vrabel was a good coach. I think he will sort of help them with their flaws. So I got Tennessee tomorrow in this game. Another big 5-game, Packers and Vikings. Green Bay and Minnesota. This is another little upset. I'm gonna go with Minnesota here tomorrow. I think Minnesota is going to be one of those surprise teams as well. I still got Green Bay to win this division. I think they'll get payback when they play again in Green Bay, but I think tomorrow, I think the Vikings will be ready. I think Aaron Rodgers got to get used to these receivers. I think it's going to take them some time to get a rhythm. So I think they might struggle a little bit of offense enough that Minnesota will take advantage of that. Vikings on the skill positions, probably one of the best in football with Jefferson and Thielen and Cook. Just a very deep, talented offense. It's just the defense I'm worried about. Can the defense give them anything? If the defense give the Vikings anything, some people is picking them to go far. I've seen a couple of competitions to go far. I got them as a playoff team, but I still think Green Bay will win this division. But I think as far as tomorrow, I think Minnesota win this game at home. Kirk Cousins, yeah, everybody know about Kirk Cousins, but can he make the throws when he has to make them? Not throwing the game, here and there. Can you make the big throw? He really only did that one time when, you like that. It's probably the only time in his career he actually done that. So, he's going to have to be huge. It's a lot of pressure on him this year. They gave him some more money, though. So, Minnesota must believe in him. He's not a bad quarterback, but just can he make the throws when it's time to make the throws? When you down 3, when you down in the game with 2 minutes left and all this stuff, that's when he's fell most of the time. So, like I said, if the Minnesota defense give you anything, this team can go pretty far. But I got them with it tomorrow. They have 1.5 point underdog at home. So I think that's crazy. I think it should be even, or maybe they should be favored to me. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota to win this game. Chiefs at Cardinals. Storyline with this game. Chiefs, different team without Tyreek Hill. Kyler Murray drama with the Cardinals. Chiefs, I think, quietly going to still show some people that they the Chiefs. I think it's going to start with this game. I think they put out a good game tomorrow. 6.5, I guess that's not bad for them to be favored by that much. Cardinals, like I said, I like the Cardinals. Trust me, I like Kyler Murray. And I don't want to use Madden as a barometer, but I like to use the word Madden. Because Kyler Murray is talented, but no doubt DeAndre Hopkins, I think that's going to matter. Hollywood Brown never had this much pressure on him before, so I think all that's going to, as far as the offense, they can probably struggle a little bit tomorrow. Defensively, like I said, JJ Watt, if you got to rely on him, no offense, he's not the guy he used to be. He stayed injured. They lost Chandler Jones, so that defense took a step back. So with all that being said, I think the Chiefs win tomorrow. Not a Big 5 game. I picked this game for Big 5 because these two teams met last year for a playoff spot. Raiders was able to win it. Raiders at Chargers. Chargers have high expectations. Some people even picking them to win the AFC West. I ain't go that far. I got them as a wild card team. I might have had them missing the playoffs. I think I got Denver missing the playoffs, even though I like Russell Wilson. Let me just be sure. Oh no, I got both of them, man. I got the Chargers and the Broncos. I got the Colts. I got the Raiders out. But that whole division can make the playoffs. They definitely capable. Raiders though, like people sleeping on the Raiders. I like Derek Carr. I know some people don't. Yeah, he's not better than the top guys, but he's a steady guy. He had a monster year last year. Let's see if they can use Devontae Adams. They did go back to college, so I think that rapport will just be natural. Darren Waller in the tight end spot. Can Jacobs bounce back at the running back position? So the offense got a few questions, but I think they got a pretty good offense. The defense is underrated with Mad Max out there. But the Chargers, they stay stacked as well on both sides of the ball. Some people think their defense is going to be one of the best in the league. Urban James got his money. Will that make him play harder, or will he take a step back? Joey Bosa, of course, going to do his thing. And then they picked up Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is, to me, a little underrated because he haven't been nowhere at one. But this guy could get off the edge. Him and Bosa on that defensive line. You see what happened with Buffalo last night? Just add Von Miller. I think that could be the same impact with the Chargers. So, Chargers 3.5 favorites. This is a tough game for me to pick, but I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. Slightly over the Raiders. I think it'll be a close, big game again. I think the Chargers will be motivated because the Raiders eliminated them last year. I think all that will be fuel to the fire. I think it'll be a good game, though, a close game. But I think the Chargers will pull it out slightly and win. Sunday Night Football. Buccaneers at Cowboys. This also made my Big Five. This game will go a long way in the NFC because, like I said, the NFC is wide open. Buccaneers got some problems on their offensive line. Brady got some personal problems. But it's Tom Brady. He's 45, but it's still Tom Brady. I don't bet against Brady until he's out. I'm still picking them to win this division. I think they make a statement tomorrow night that they ain't going nowhere. Dallas, like I said, they come in with a lot of injuries. They do have CeeDee Lamb, but other than that, they're that receiver. Ezekiel Elliott, can he bounce back? Can he finally give them something? Pollard is back there. I think Pollard wound up being the #1 running back. Defensively, Dallas with Micah Parsons and Diggs, they got some talent over there. So do Tampa. Kind of a no-name defense, but they defense, especially at the linebacker core, is real talented. They lost some guys as well, but I think Tampa will do it. Win tomorrow night. Just a 2.5 point favorite. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it'll come down to a field goal or two. And Brady will make a big play near the end of the game, and that would do it for Dallas, even though Dallas is at home. But I think the Cowboys still will be a playoff team. I just think with these injuries at the beginning of the season, and their schedule's a little tough to begin. So I think they'll start off slower, then they turn it on late. So I see Dallas doing it. I see Tampa as well, but Tampa got a tough schedule as well. I think it's going to be the same with both of these teams. I think tomorrow night, Tampa will be the better team. I think they'll slightly win, maybe by a field goal or so, and win tomorrow night. But both these teams, I think, will be playoff teams. And our final game to talk about, a lot of storylines with this one. The Denver Broncos at the Seattle Seahawks. Broncos 6.5 point favorites. Monday Night Football. Of course, Denver and the Seahawks made the trade. Russell Wilson, now a Bronco. He returns home for Week 1 and Monday night. So it's going to be a very emotional game for both teams. Now, some people was using this theory, maybe Seattle, and I think it might be true. It's that Seattle will play probably their best game, this game, just to prove to Russell Wilson and to the world that they're a good team, or that they still relevant. But it's gonna be hard for me to see that. But I think this is gonna be a closer game than the 6.5. I think the 6.5 is too much. I see this being a field goal game, a close game. Geno Smith, you can see the maturity in him, but he's still Geno Smith. He has limitations, but you have to see if he can get the ball in his playmakers' hands. Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, I think they run a game as inconsistent. I think Russell Wilson, on the other hand, he has a good slew of running backs. The receivers are talented with the kid from Alabama, and number 17. They got some talented receivers as well, and their defense ain't nothing to sneeze at either. So I think Denver just to be the better team. But I think tomorrow night with the emotions and everything else, I think that'll keep Seattle in the game, but I think Denver will wind up pulling away and winning by at least 3. So they are my Week 1 picks, everyone, for this week. Appreciate you guys so much for joining me. I was going to do it while I'm doing a pool here with my guys here at the house, but if anybody want to do a pool, I've downloaded the ESPN app, and we could do it. I should have did it, still should have downloaded. I like to do it on there. I might still do, even though we already game out already. But I picked, as far as with my house, I picked Buffalo Thursday night, so I'm up a game on a guy too. So, but yeah, I'm excited about this week as the NFL kicks off. That's when you know it's starting to get fall. I used to like the fall, even though my birthday's in the fall. But I used to like the fall. I like when it's starting to get cold. But I have a do feel, I do like for it this year. There's a lot of reasons why I don't like the fall. I lost a lot of my loved ones during this time. Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that. So, but as far as the NFL, just gets me excited about the fall. And I don't know, I kind of, started to, even though I would have still moved somewhere warm eventually, but I don't mind a little bit of cold weather here and there, so that's get to wrapping this up. So we do have time today. I want to talk a little bit about Serena Williams. I didn't get a chance to talk about her last week. I'll probably talk about her more, even more. She wound up losing in the third round in the U.S. Open. Very emotional send-off. So I think she's probably really is done with tennis. To me, like I said, greatest player ever. Forget the gender. Everything that she went through. So I always go, every time I get a chance, like I said, I want to talk about her. Like I said, she influenced me in certain small little ways. Just to persevere. But just pure talent wise, like she was just, one of the best tennis players I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that I'm a real big tennis fan, but I love watching her and Venus. I think Venus didn't really announce that she was stopping playing, but she pretty much, retired as well. So, but Serena, she got some stuff off the court that she do. I think I follow her on Instagram. She do those fashion stuff and other stuff that she was doing back then, And like I said, I just like with LeBron James, I can admit I had some doubt about Serena. I had some doubt about LeBron, and look at what happened with LeBron. He's the second best player ever, arguably the first. And I say arguably, loosely, I think Mike is the best, but I didn't think LeBron would make it this far as a player. Serena, I thought back then, when she was doing the other stuff, seemed like she wasn't focused on tennis. I thought, well, most tennis players by, 25, 30, you're finished. You pretty much looking to the future. But she's a competitor. She's an underrated competitor. I respect her a lot. She was somebody I would want to meet. I always say who I want to meet one day, or who you want to have dinner with. Just that type of typist like her. She would definitely be one. I always say Chef Ramsay. I would want him to cook the dinner too, but I would want to actually sit down and eat with him as well. Shaquille O'Neal. There's a lot of interesting people out here that wouldn't mind me, and she's definitely one of them. So, farewell, Serena. You had a great career. This ain't gonna be the last time I talk about you. I'm thinking about just doing a whole show on you. I just want to do more research. I want to get my facts straight about you. So definitely, since I know I had time this week, next week I'm definitely going to do some research and give you a proper send-off, because I appreciated your career, and I think some people now are starting to say some things, but I think during your career, I think if you was treated unfairly, in my opinion, I think you should have been celebrated way before now. Now that you're retiring, people celebrate. And I know that's just how it goes, but you was a hell of a player, and I know you know that. I know you don't need me to tell you, but I respect you, and farewell. I hope you live a happy life. Got a cute little daughter now. So she just will live her second life. She's 40 years old. I'll be 40, so I kind of understand that side. You want to sort of I just want peace. You just want peace. You just want to chill. You don't have to stress or worry about anything, even if it's tennis. So I understand it, and I just thank you for helping a lot of people, helping a lot of black women in tennis, and not just beyond, just to be a strong black woman. That's what we need in today's world. So I salute you, and congratulations on a great career. And you're the greatest. I don't give a damn what nobody say. You're the greatest tennis player I ever seen, and I respect. There's a lot of good players, like I said, I've seen. Like even with the men now, to me the top three ever is Nadal, Federer, and now Djokovic. Djokovic having his issues, but those three guys are unbelievable. I seen Agassi and Sampras. Sampras was a good tennis player as far as the men. As far as the women, As far as what I've seen, you was clearly the best, but I would put you up against any of those guys. You know, just everything that you went through. That's just my opinion. So, congratulations, Serena, and this won't be the last time. I'm gonna try to put together something special. So next week, we'll talk more about you. College football again today. Let's look at some of those notable games or college football. Let's see. Let's just do top 25. Okay. I know Alabama plays somebody today, right? Okay, Texas. Yeah, that's at noon. They 21-point favorites in that game. Kentucky, Florida, that's a big game. I'm a Florida Gator fan, so that's a top 25 matchup, 20 against 12. Arkansas is playing. Miami plays today. Utah, Notre Dame try to bounce back against Marshall today. Georgia against Stafford. They don't even have a line. That's probably Georgia might score 100 on those guys. Houston plays Oklahoma. Houston plays today against Texas Tech. Oklahoma plays. I'm just naming all the top 25 that's playing today. Michigan got a game today and tonight. Oklahoma State, USC. Another top 25 matchup. Baylor at BYU. Of course, everybody know with the BYU situation with the volleyball game. It's kind of died off, but if it happens, if that's true, yeah, somebody should have did something about it. But now I'm hearing all these conflicting reports that it wasn't as big of a deal as the person made it to be and all this. So I don't know, but either way, if it was true, it definitely was wrong to do that to that girl. But that'd be a good game tonight as well. Baylor at BYU. That's a late game, 10:15 kickoff. So yeah, so some notable college football games today. Let's talk about the channel. We is running out of time. Now, like I said, BioShock. Like I said, I'm gonna have to probably do some research and get that code. I'm stuck. That's why I ain't done no videos on it. I've been pretty much running around in a circle, so it wouldn't have made a good video. So probably Monday you'll probably see another BioShock video as I do. I'll have to go search it on Google or something to get past what I might still try it on my own again, but if I can't do it, I'm gonna go ahead and submit and just progress through the game. So like I said, I want to do Last of Us, like I said, but I'm trying to wait till after I finish BioShock. Today, NFL Madden, first franchise mode game. I'm gonna split it in 2 halves, so it'll be 9-minute quarters. Right now, I'm leaning more Bills now because I did get a vote to use the Buffalo Bills, so I might be the Bills. I'm gonna check that out again. I want to use the Chargers, but I think I am going to use the Bills. I feel more comfortable actually using the Bills, so that's what it might mostly likely be. So that means you're going to see Rams Bills again at noon today, so stay tuned for that. MLB The Show tomorrow as we start the playoffs in season 1, so look for that tomorrow morning around this time that I'm doing this. So it'll be around the same time, around 9-10 in the morning. I'll record that video and split that video in half as well. We got Madden today at noon, around noon, so the video probably posts maybe sometimes around 1:30ish or something like that. What else we got coming? More Sonic Origin videos. Like I said, we're gonna do the lives every week. Thanks to everybody for coming out last night. Thank you, Kat, new subscriber. Appreciate you, buddy. Good vibes. Shout out to you as well. They came through, watched a little bit of the stream last night. So next week we'll do Sonic the Hedgehog 2. We'll split that into 2 weeks. Probably do about the first 5 or 6 zones, and then do the other half the week after. And it'll be Thursday this time, not Friday. I announced that. Twitch will be my Wednesday stream. I think I'm gonna do Turtles on Twitch this week. So that's all the things that's coming. Like I said, I did mention NBA 2K is coming. Probably, and I'm gonna say it another week. I don't think next week. So I gotta still buy the game, but then I gotta clear out some space for it. So I definitely would have finished the BioShock project first. Then I might leave. I want to do Last of Us, but like I said, I think that might not do a lot of traction because people probably rather see the PS5 version of it. But I might still do it anyway, and I'm not sure yet. So, but that's just days to look forward to. So with that being said, let me get out of here. Appreciate you guys for coming through. You guys are the greatest. Shout out again to Helping Hearts 88. Good vibes. And my man Cat. So I appreciate you guys so much for being supportive. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. I put my top 5 sentence list. I'll share that later. See who's going to be mad about it later on. And thank you guys so much. So I'll be back live Wednesday on Twitch. So join me on Twitch. It'll probably be a Ninja Turtle stream. I might try it on the hardest level. I think that's what we're going to try to do. See how far I can get with that. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Check out all my projects here on the channel. Check out all my social media as well. Follow me on social media. And I love you guys, man. Y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe. And talk to you guys Wednesday. I'll see you guys later on today as well on social media. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Troy West, and you've been watching the Solid Sports Gaming channel, Solid Sports Video Blog, episode 198. Thank you. Peace and love.